If you're a tennis player who likes to play with a lot of spin, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Proisy, and thanks to Tennis Majors and all our videos, you can find out all there is to know about tennis equipment. We'll tell you what the pros use to be at their best and what you should use to have the most fun and win the most matches. This video is part of the new series where I try to recommend what racket you should gravitate towards depending on your game style. I will answer questions you probably ask yourself when you want to highlight your strength or if it's something that disturbs you in your game. If we think of players who like to use a lot of spin, the one name that really comes to mind is, of course, the king of clay, Rafael Nadal. So Rafa plays with a racket that's maybe a little bit lighter compared to that of a counterpuncher. And the reason why his racket is lighter is because he makes the racket travel so much faster. And the reason why he makes it travel so much faster, because he uses so much spin. And the spin obviously makes you lose power. Before we talk about the racket, let's talk about the strings. You want to make sure you use something that allows you to bite the ball more when you hit. So generally, a hybrid setup is not going to be the best thing to do if what you like to do is play with heavy spin. And so it goes without saying that synthetic and natural gut strings are not going to be great either. You're going to want a polyester string. It's definitely preferable for you to use a thicker string to make sure you don't go breaking your strings too often. We know that Rafa plays with a lot of spin, and he actually uses a very thick string pattern of 1.35 millimeters. Another trait of a good racket for a heavy spinner is going to be an open string pattern. And the more open the string pattern, the more bite you're going to have. If your shots have a lot of spin, then you also have a lot of control on your ball. And you're going to want to use a racket that generates a good amount of power. The grip is also worth mentioning. If you like to play with a lot of spin, a slightly smaller grip relative to your hand size is going to help you develop more wrist speed. So the specs that you'll be looking for are a slightly more head-heavy racket, a thicker frame, a high stiffness rating, and of course, an open string pattern. My golden rule of choosing a racket that is heavy enough for your strength level still applies here. However, since a heavy spin player swings the racket faster compared to a counterpuncher, a slightly lighter racket by comparison is preferable. And so for a heavy spin player, every brand has rackets that feature a 16x19 string pattern. And in terms of head size, something that goes well with that is a 645 centimeter square. Here are some examples of which rackets you should gravitate towards if you're a heavy spinner. So for head, the Extreme series, for Babolat, the Aero or the Pure Drive series, for Wilson, the Ultra series, for Technifiber, the T-Fights that feature a 16x19 or 16x18 string pattern, for Dunlop, the SX series, or what I got here, the FX series, which is also known to provide a good amount of spin. That's it for our episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.